Good day, everyone. I am Mary Rose Aguilar, and we are now on the lesson 22 of this subject, Teaching English in the Elementary Grades. This is Literature, Grammar, Integration, the four-pronged approach. So before we begin, let us know first the objectives for today's lesson. At the end of this lesson, you are expected to do the following. First, explain the features of the four-pronged approach to teaching literature in language skills. Integrate different language skills through literature study and plan lessons integrating literature and grammar lesson. Introduction. Using literature in teaching English and communicative competence has been argued to be beneficial to learners. The reason why it's beneficial for learners because it fosters the development of their imagination and creativity, which in turn enhance their language skills. It also helps them to understand the speech and behavior of other people. According to Colley and Slater, 1990, they cited 4 reasons to favor the use of literature in the language classroom. It is a valuable, authentic material, provides cultural enrichment, offers language enrichment, and provides personal involvement of learners. Moreover, it is a rich source for learning reading. The use of different literary genres help in teaching communicative skills as they provide context to develop not only reading strategies, but also vocabulary acquisition and grammatical forms and appreciation of others' cultural values. By reading poetry, drama, or post-fiction like novels, short story, and etc., learners can gain knowledge of various cultures around the world. Approach in integrating literature in the language class is the four-pronged approach. Developed by Basilisa Manhit, reading professor of the University of Philippines. The approach is rooted in several philosophical foundations, namely, it is literature-based, it is holistic, and it's emphasized on the process of transfer. So now, here are the 4 prongs. First prong is genuine love for reading. The objective in this stage is to develop learners' appreciation to read. To achieve it, teachers need to select a literary selection. It's either a story or a poem that is appropriate to the learner's characteristics. Their characteristics include their interests, age, and vocabulary level. So these are the examples of activities. First is free reading activities, which motivate the learners to create interest for them to read. Second, unlocking of difficulty words. Through a variety of methods, including demonstrations, concrete objectives, drawings, and other forms of representation, teachers can help students by unlocking their learning challenges. The third is motivation, and the last one is motive question. It is a questions about reading selection that will engage the learners into an active inquiry as they read. The example of question is, what is the story all about? And what does the main character want to achieve? Second prong, critical reading. After reading the selection, the teacher engaged the learners to process the reading activity. It involves post-reading activities. It is a strategy that offers students a means of summarizing, reflecting on, and challenging what they have to read. These are the different types of reading comprehension questions. First is literal questions, reading the lines. It is a question whose answer are directly found in the selection read. The majority of people can agree on answers to literal questions because they clear ambiguous responses. Real questions can reveal what, who, where, and when is the responses. Here are the example of question. What happened when Berto released the bird? And what incident made father realize he was wrong? Interpretive questions, reading between the lines. Questions that require learners to make inferences using the information or details found in the selection read. This question has a response of students that can be supported by textual evidence. Here are some questions. Based on the descriptions of other characters about Joanne, what kind of girl is she? And why was Ray still happy even when the birthday party was cancelled? Evaluation of critical thinking, questioning the text and the author. Learners' focus shifts to the assessment of the implicit message of the reading selection, questioning the message and purpose of the author. The question is, could this story happen in your family? And were the statement of Jonah fact or her opinions? Application or value integration, learners associated to their own experiences in life, they identify situations that they could relate with based on their experiences. The question is, what part or incident in the story that you see yourself? And why do you like or dislike this story? Creative understanding. Learners transform the message they understood from the reading selection in a new form. They may be asked to draw and color the character do you like the most? Make a jingle or rhyme to convey the moral of the story or act out of the scene in the story they like the best. This creative understanding is the foundation of teaching tasks to encourage imagination and problem solving. The third prong, mastery of the structures of the language, grammar, and oral language development. As learners respond to the question in the second prong, they develop speaking and listening skills as they talk about the selection read. This prong, the learners have learned and understood the different language. The last prong is transfer stage. At the lower grade levels, learners are engaged in activities to develop phonemic awareness, decoding, and encoding skills. In this prong, the learners is ready for the reading instruction and practice being independent. So student, this will be the end of our discussion in the lesson 22, Literature, Grammar, Integration, the four-pronged approach. So student, this will be the end of our discussion in the lesson 22, Literature, Grammar, Integration, the four-pronged approach.